Hey guys, today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Werner Beinhart football game. So I'm not really sure what this is. It's a cartoon. I'm seeing a cartoon, so I'm guessing this is sort of like a German cartoon, I'm gonna guess. Maybe a very famous and old German cartoon, but unfortunately I'm not really that familiar with traditional German cartoons of certain eras, so I don't really know what this could be about. Or maybe I come to think about it, maybe it's gonna be like a commercial, because I think commercials usually, like, I don't know, especially like back in the day, like in older years, they were sometimes animated. So maybe this is gonna be a cartoon of some sort that was an ad of, I don't know, of like a particular, maybe a football team. I don't know, but obviously I know that Germany is pretty big. Like football is pretty famous there. Soccer for in the US. So I'm excited. So let's check it out.
Moin, moin, liebe Sportfreunde. Herzlich willkommen zu Werners Sportstudio, direkt und live aus dem Kieler Zwietrachtstadion.
Okay.
Im heutigen Spitzenspiel der Oberliga Nord begegnen sich bei bestem Fußballwetter der 1. FC Süderbraurup und der Gastgeber Holstein Kiel.
What is perfect
Es
football
herrscht
weather?
eine Bombenstimmung. Circa 63.664 Zuschauer wollen sich dieses Spektakel mit entgehen lassen.
Okay.
Beide Mannschaften befinden sich in Bestform. Ach, und da sehe ich schon die Schiedsrichter.
Helmut, laut Paragraph 35z römisch 2 der Dienstamtsvorschrift haben wir vor Betreten größerer Menschenansammlungen die ordnungsgemäße Funktion unserer Dienstpfeifen zu überprüfen.
Hier der bei den Spielern gefürchtete Helmut Hochbein, der nicht lange zögert, einen Platzverweis zu erteilen. Beim letzten Pokalspiel zückte er ohne Vorwarnung die Karte, als ein Torwart sein Tor mit 400er Ytongstein dichtmauerte. In Fachkreisen wird er auch der rote Helmut genannt. Die Schiedsrichter prüfen noch ein letztes Mal den korrekten Sitz ihrer Kleidung. Bis zum Anpfiff kann das nun nicht mehr lange dauern. Ich guck noch mal in die Flasche, wie spät es ist. Ja,
Just look in the
es ist
bottle.
soweit. Schiedsrichter Helmut Hochbein setzt zum Anpfiff an. Es scheint Probleme zu geben. Ich kann nicht genau erkennen, was das ist. Aha, der Schiedsrichter hat Rohrverstopfung. Wir nutzen diese Verzögerung
Pipe blockage.
und überprüfen noch einmal den Luftdruck des Balls. Zweiter
Not the
Versuch,
ball.
Bruno Koslowski. Anpfiff. Jawohl, meine lieben Zuschauer. Der Ball ist freigegeben. Anstoß von Süderbrauch mit einem Gewaltschuss von Jens Jensen. Kopfball von Peter
Oh my
Süß.
God.
Abgewehrt. Kopfballduell im Mittelfeld. Wer springt höher? Natürlich Langmann. Flanke zu Bernie Blindmann. Der Mann mit dem Durchblick. Der dribbelt der Holstein 11. Ein Zauberer vor den Herren. Ja, meine Damen und Herren, hier sieht man mal wieder, der Teamchef der Kieler hat einen guten Riecher bewiesen. Für eine Kiste Sprotten von Inter Mailand weg. Nun sehen Sie sich das an. Keine Schrotte zu viel, würde ich sagen. Aber die Abwehr von Süderbraurup ist auf Zack. Gewaltschuss von Hülsenknecht über den ganzen Platz.
No.
Tor!
Goal.
Unhaltbar! Tor! 1:0 für Süderbraurup. Unhaltbar für den Kieler Torwart Klaus Löhrer. Der aber reklamiert auf Abseits. Sollte dieser wunderschöne Treffer etwa ungültig sein? Nein, die Unparteiischen bleiben hart.
Was macht der Ball zwischen meinen Flanken?
Anstoß Kruse. Ein starker Tritt. Aber doch.
No, he's-
Hand spielt im Strafraum des 1. FC Süderbraurup.
Wer macht hier solchen Unsinn?
Ganz klar, der Schiedsrichter gibt 11 Meter.
A penalty.
Komm nun, wir müssen bei Hanses die Heizung ausmieten.
Schussrutsch. Tor!
Not the X.
Es ist unglaublich. Jawohl. Eiskalt.
Okay, this is funny. I'm gonna guess it wasn't an ad. It was an actual cartoon, something that aired at some point. Maybe I'm guessing it's gonna be like it was something very old. But come think about it, maybe it's not that old. I like the animation looks like fresh. It doesn't really look like that old. Although I can maybe like it's giving me like vintage vibes, so maybe it is. I don't know, the 80s, 90s. I don't know. I have no idea. But it was very funny, and so I'm gonna guess it was. This is part of maybe a particular of this characters are like famous. Maybe the narrator is like a famous like it's a cartoon based on like that special like character, and like in this episode maybe like they're trying to like make fun of like how football games work. Maybe I don't know, but I can be totally off. Maybe it's actually a cartoon about like sports, or I don't know, actual football. I don't know, again, because it's Werner Beinhart, so I'm gonna guess he's Werner, like that guy's Werner, or maybe Werner is sort of like the animation company, and again, it's gotta be something pretty famous over there. But it's really funny. I think I like how like it was. I think they're trying to like make fun of, like, well, not make fun. It's just like they're pointing out like certain maybe like I don't know things about, so they're making fun of like certain maybe behaviors. I don't know if like they're trying to make fun of like behaviors in like football fans in general, or specifically German fans. I have to say, like I'm referring to the drinking, because it's funny that always like the narrator, like, oh, I'm gonna look for it in the bottom of the bottle, and he just like drinks, and he's just constantly drinking while he's not like narrating the game. And obviously, I'm not saying that they're making fun of like, oh, German narrators, like they really do like their drinking. No, but I think they're maybe trying to make fun of like, usually when you go to a football game, you obviously like usually you have a beer, you're want to have some drinks, and usually beer is definitely like it's like the drink of choice. So maybe that's why they're like making fun of, and actually like, and specifically like Germany, I know that it's also a country with a reputation of like they also really do like their drinking, and more specifically and even more when there's like some sort of football game, some sporting event. So maybe that's why he's constantly like drinking. I don't know. Maybe I can be totally off, but maybe that's the vibes that I'm getting. But I also like really love the writing as well. And like the birds were also like drinking, which is like the and I'm guessing like at least how I understood it, like all the birds are also like the spectators in this game. Like they're technically as if it was being broadcasted. Well, not broadcasted. The actual, if it was a stadium, and the people that are attending this game instead of people were the birds, which I thought it was very funny because I didn't really got it at first. I was like, okay, like he's narrating and you could hear like the cheers in the background, and I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be probably like narrating because I can see he's obviously from a window. So I was like, oh, he's probably like narrating to the actual like city. But then it was, oh no, it's just birds. The birds are of course like on the roof on because it's a city, and also you're gonna have like pigeons and all sorts of birds in the tiles in the roof. So it was very funny and imaginative. That is like, yes, of course, if you're like narrating something like that, of course like the spectators are not gonna be the actual, like there's not gonna be like the people in the streets. It's gonna be the birds. And I love how the animation worked, that it was like this whole city, and they were like in the stands, because it was like, some of them were on here in this upper part of the roof, and then the others were like in the middle part, and the others like in the lower part. So it was actually like a stadium where you have like different kinds of seating, and obviously like it was again like not making fun of it, but in this case it's like referencing like that. And I love that it was very imaginative, especially I think when it comes to animals, like it makes it like all incredibly funnier and 10 times funnier when it has to do with animals, because they are like, I don't know, you can see like the feathers like ruffling because they're birds, so it's really funny. And also for like the people, the animation of like all the people, I think my favorite one was actually like, I love how like when the game actually started and you can see like, oh, there's like the ball going around in the city, and obviously like hijinks happen, and there's like their eggs are crushed, and then like so like the person, like there's like this man, and he inadvertently like kicks the ball and without meaning to, and obviously he's like, oh, there he goes, like the kick of the century, and he just like, I don't know, he just like kicked the ball like we did without meaning to. I love all those parts, but I think my favorite like segment was the one with the blind man, because it was so funny. I thought it was gonna be like, or either he was gonna be like totally off and he's gonna create like, oh no, like he just a self goal, he owns a goal or something, I don't know, like it's gonna be maybe something like that. But no, he was like when you have like the football star, there's like this very like, I don't know, a very famous player, I don't know, like Messi or something, that is like, oh, he has the ball, incredible, look at him like handling it. And it was just like the blind man totally like handling the ball with like the feet, and then like the shoulder, and then like the back, I don't know, he was doing all these incredible like feats. I think that was one was my favorite part. And then in the end, like he just like grabs the cane. I love that part. I think that was probably my favorite one. And yes, and of course, obviously, like when it's like, oh, it's a goal. Of course, it's a goal because it's gonna end. If you're gonna end like a segment like this or a cartoon like this, obviously it's gonna have to be with a goal. But then it was like, oh, it's also a penalty. Like they have a penalty as well, which I wasn't expecting, and I loved it because yes, it was like, yes, football games are truly like that, very, I think, unexpected, and also like they can be pretty funny, and I think they're making fun a little bit of like that, of when like the unexpected. I think like when they say of like the game is not really over until it's over. I think that definitely applies to a lot of sports, but I think that football is one of those sports where it's definitely like that, where it's like you can like anything can happen. Like sometimes you're like, oh, you know, the situation is like perfect for like maybe this team to win. Like everything is like the gods are smiling upon this team and they're gonna win. And then you don't really know, and then like they end up losing, because that's again generally in sports, but I think football is one of those things where like you really have to see it until the very end, because there's like so many things that could happen that is like, wow, I can't believe it, but you know what, it ended up, this incredible thing ended up happening. So I think they're also like playing a little bit with that concept of like, you never really know with football. Actually, it's like anything can happen. It's like anyone's game, and you have to watch till the very end, so you can actually like see, wow, you know what, my team won. That actually also like it encapsulates like the cartoon, like this segment also encapsulates like not only that of like that feeling and that sensation of like, oh, anything could happen and any team can win, and you don't really know, like again, you're winning and it's perfect, and then all of a sudden like the other team like gets a penalty and they in a tie or something. It's like, no, how come everything like changed in like 30 seconds, in 2 minutes? Like again, it can happen. I think the cartoon really does show us that. But also again, like the excitement of like just being on the day of the match, and then it's like the cheering and people are drinking and everyone's happy, and it's like, oh my god, yes, it's the perfect kind of like environment for a football game. But yes, I'm gonna look it up and see like if this Werner Beinhart, like what is this specifically, and if this actually like the animator, the company, maybe it's actually a team, I don't know, but I'm gonna look it up. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.